Hello everyone, welcome back to Tully Television. And today, as you can see, I have Christina here with me.
And we got Vision here too.
Yeah, we do. We wound up getting Wandavision Funko, the 1950s Vision human form.
It just says pop on it. Number 714, guys. It's Vision 50s in the 50s.
And this is a perfect transition into what we're going to be discussing today, which is episode 8 of Wandavision. One more episode to go, and this definitely had a lot of questions answered. Definitely some other questions unanswered, and I think that we're going to get some of those answers next week, but there's definitely going to be a running story after this with some of these characters. But what did you think of the episode offhand?
Oh, well, it was very deep for me again. Another very deep episode. Because, and if you hear like, oh, and yeah, and that's if our son, who's
playing video games upstairs,
13, will be 13 in May, and doing the whole Roblox and stuff. So, but anyway, I thought the episode was very deep, and I was quite surprised with the whole Agatha thing. I know that's a very big thing at the moment, and I was kind of wondering why they didn't have her, I guess, name in the credits and stuff like that. And then when she dressed up as a witch for Halloween, let's say, right? Now, things are starting to come more to me when I was thinking of those things, and then now things came more to me, came to the surface, basically, as, it's amazing how when someone has power, how manipulating they can be, because in the scene where you see Agatha and then you see the two children of Wanda and Vision, you see how much power that she has and how manipulating at that point that Agatha is. And and there's obviously situations like that in real life, in the real world, where even if someone just has a little bit of power, it just shows how much manipulation is, and how much when someone or something means so much to you, that, and then when it's being manipulated, how Agatha was doing that with the children. I mean, so coming from a mother's perspective, that gave me a lot of emotion, that scene. So that was one of the things that stuck out to me.
That's a good point, because when you're trying to, some people out there will keep an honor code, and if they have an issue with you, they're going to keep it with you. And then some villains, some enemies don't have a problem using your family against you.
Right.
And for weeks we were determining if Agatha was going to eventually be a helpful assistance to Wanda and Vision, or was she being controlled. But with her killing Sparky, and then, like you said, at the end of the episode, again, I'm not, spoiler warnings, okay?
Oh, right, we should have said that from the very
Which
beginning.
I don't really do, but people who watch this channel know.
Maybe you could put it in the description as a spoiler.
But with her, with the children at the end, like in the magic chokeholds, and then Wanda trying to figure out what she is going to do. on top of all this emotion of the flashbacks that she was forced to endure through Agatha's powers. Because the episode starts with Agatha back in the 1600s. Her coven, she is a witch, was going to kill her for using magic above her station. Her mother led this coven, and the mother owned the brooch that you see her wearing with the 3 figures in it. Agatha's powers were too much for the rules, and she wound up being too powerful, and there was a burst of purple magic that came from her that wound up sucking the life force out of her mother in the coven. And when she, all these years later, she had explained to Wanda why she was there. She was there because she felt her in the magical world. She felt Wanda creating this hex. And so if Agatha was able to feel it, I was wondering, you know, like there's going to be other magical beings coming after her at this point now, whether they're good or bad. You see Agatha forcing Wanda to go through some traumatic events in her life, like her time in Sokovia. We learn that that's where her love of American sitcoms comes from. Her father tried to sell like American DVDs to his, to people. That didn't work out. There was violence throughout the streets, but her favorite time was watching these American shows with her family, and her favorite was Dick Van Dyke. An episode called The Walnut, I think, was her favorite episode out of that. That's when the Stark missile went through, and we learned that it was Wanda subliminally saving her and Pietro from that fates that the parents met. And then we move on to the Hydra base, and where Hydra von Strucker took her and her brother after volunteering basically to do what they needed to do to help Sokovia. She was exposed to the scepter. The Mind Stone came to her and gave her a vision of her ultimate form, which was, the headdress, the classic uniform that we're used to. That she dressed up for Halloween, but it looked more badass, more modern. Then we see her basically going to the sword base to figure out where Vision was. Haywood allowed her to come in and kind of was saying, like not everyone has the power to bring a loved one back online or back to life, and maybe he was waiting to see what Wanda was going to do, if she was going to do anything nuts. She blew out the glass and went down to see his body, and the way they had it sprawled out was from a famous comic scene during the West Coast Avengers. Check out my playlist on that on those videos. Explain a little bit about their history there. During the story Vision Quest, which he winds up becoming White Vision, an emotionalist, and no memories of his previous life before that. And it may seem like that's going to be the way it's heading now, because she just left him there because she felt him and said, I feel nothing. She goes without taking the Vision's body. She did not take the Vision's body, so Haywood's been BSing about that the whole time. We get Wanda to go to her car, and she sees this envelope and a deed that Vision bought before they started going on the run around the Age of Ultron movie. He wanted to live in Westview with her and grow old there. She drove to Westview on her own. She gets to the lot, and then, as again, anyone with all this grief pent up in them, without any real type of release, without anyone really being around to help her. Again, the brother dead. Her nation was dropped from.
It looked like such a dump.
Yeah.
It looked
right,
so
it was kind of like
it didn't even really
like
look,
a European ghetto.
It didn't look nice.
No, they grew up. It was a war zone, and then to watch.
I'm talking about when she goes back to where the property is, where the grass.
Oh well, it wasn't built
back,
yet. Yeah.
But it looked very dumpy compared to the Westview that she created.
Well, yes, she
I'm
gets
saying?
to Westview, and as she's going through Westview, you see Herb.
Right.
You see.
I almost actually didn't really recognize him because I'm so used to seeing him in like the 70s, and then so then
you see the
when I
boss's
see him
wife.
regular, I was like. Right, I almost didn't recognize her. Then you see that other guy.
The delivery guy,
the delivery guy, right?
Then the guy with the black mustache with the piano. You see him putting up a sign for piano lessons.
Again, I almost didn't recognize, or pretty much didn't.
It looked like some middle class neighborhood, and then that's when she released all her grief onto the neighborhood. And encompassed it in the hex, so the hex was created in her grief, and whatever the people were doing around that time, that's kind of what stuck with them throughout the illusion of Westview, and that's where that ends. And then there is a mid-credit scene where we see Haywood being prompted to saying that the strike force is ready or whatever to go into Westview. They go in, and we see that Haywood still has Vision's body, the original body, and it's all white with some like powder or baby blue highlights with a little mini arc reactor in the head where the Mind Stone would be at. And we're gonna see the final showdown between everyone. We might see Vision versus Vision. How is that going to end? Who's going to live?
Comment down below what you guys think and what your thoughts are, and what you think of the whole show. I mean, it's obviously.
Is Paul Bettany the special guest star that he was referring himself as, or is there still a special guest that he would love to work with that's going to come in episode 9? What do you think is going to be the closing mid-credit scene for the last episode? As far as Kevin Feige is concerned, right now there is no plans for WandaVision season 2. He said there's always an option for these things to go on.
And how do you guys feel about
that? Yeah, how do you feel about it?
Comment below about
Give me all your theories. What's going to happen before we head into episode 9? Which Vision is going to make it, or both Visions going to hit the head?
Did you guys see any Easter eggs?
Anything that we didn't pick up on, let me know. If you think the kids are going to survive or age up or whatever, let me know. Thanks for stopping by, guys.
Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, comment down below, and press the bell notification, which is no longer red. It's just
bing.
Whatever.
We are on the road still to 25 subscribers.
We're almost there for that
3 more
giveaway, guys.
3 more to the giveaway.
Personal comics.
Out of my own personal stash. We're 3 away. Let's get it going, guys. Come on.
And show your shirt before we end.
I did get this shirt today in the mail. It's a Kermit the Frog shirt.
Matches my nails.
Matches your nails.
Yeah.
And on the side here it says Dreamer.
That's definitely you.
And yes.
I wore velour, even though it was not this episode. I digged into my closet, found the velour, so holla to velour outfits. That was silly. Bye, guys.
Juicy. Bye, guys. Peace, schnookums.
Every type of power supply under the sun, when all we needed was a little energy directly from the source.
Ready, sir.